the She Loves to Plan podcast, the podcast for the time-poor entrepreneur, the business owner spinning too many plates, and the business mum who wants to feel more successful, more accomplished, and more organised, all whilst building a profitable business. I'm Monique Svensson, founder of Perfect Planner Company and planning enthusiast, and I'm going to be sharing with you my planning hacks, goal-setting strategies, time management tips and tricks, and secrets to success. Every goal needs a plan, and I'm here to help you. Time is the most precious thing we have, and I'm going to show you how to get more of it in your busy life. No more winging it, no more feeling unaccomplished. Let's get planning, let's smash our goals, and let's build the business of our dreams, because she loves to plan. Hello. I am super excited today to welcome into our lovely little Liverpool studios here today a really, really special lady. She's very special to me, and I'm really, really excited to be talking to her today. I can't wait to share with you some amazing golden nuggets that this fabulous lady is going to be sharing today. Please, please, please let me welcome serial entrepreneur Helen MCCUE.
Hi, Monique, and hi, everybody. It's really exciting to be here on this podcast with you today.
I'm thrilled to have you here today. And for people that don't know you, I could say lots and lots about you, and I will as we go through this. And sort of talk about as well how we came to meet each other. But first of all, tell our listeners today, who is Helen MCCUE?
Well, who is she not? That is the question. This is a real hard one. Monique was saying, how are you going to introduce yourself? And I was like, what am I? So I think the easiest way to describe me is that I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I have many businesses. I've actually got 5 businesses, which is more businesses than I have children, because I'm also a mummy to 3 children, all under the age of 13. So life is very, very busy, but most people know me for being in the candle and fragrance industry. So I am a candle and fragrance manufacturer. We have a retail brand called Moments Candles Co., where we make beautiful products. But then very recently, we started working with other brands and also bringing scent branding into other brands and creating lovely candles and fragrance products for entrepreneurs, for businesses, both startup, bigger businesses, corporate businesses, lots of different businesses, and entrepreneurs. So that's kind of the main job, and that's kind of a good point that we can talk about today on how that journey kind of started. And obviously, I'm a mum and a wife, and loads of stuff kind of goes on that.
But you're also a business mentor, which is how we came to get to know each other. So I'm part of a mastermind. So if those of you out there don't know what a mastermind is, essentially it's a collective of individuals in business that come together, brainstorm ideas, and really it's about sort of feeding off each other, bouncing ideas off each other, really getting to know and understand each other's businesses and how we can help and support each other grow. And that's generally headed up by the masterminder. And on this occasion, the real mastermind is headed up by Helen.
Yes.
And I could see through social media, I obviously used to see lots and lots of Helen's posts and realised that she was a productpreneur, if that's a real word. And that really attracted me to you because obviously my background as well, my business is in products. And I found that there were so many masterminds out there that were purely for the service-based business. So I felt like I struck gold when I found somebody that really understood products, because running a product business, it's not a cheap business. The overheads are huge, and it's a challenge. So I came into this mastermind and we've got to know each other pretty well over how many months has it been now we've been working together?
It's been like 4 months now.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months.
It's been great. It's gone so fast.
It really has. And, you know, I absolutely love it. So I wholeheartedly encourage anybody to get involved in that kind of thing, because it's just, you know, in a different episode, I've been talking to another lady about accountability, and that is one of the amazing things that you get within a mastermind.
It does. And also it's the collaboration as well, because business is hard sometimes. So it's hard, and as a solopreneur, which lots of people are, it sometimes is quite a lonely place to be. So being in something like a mastermind, or having a business bestie, if you can't get into a mastermind for financial reasons, or you just haven't found the right one, just having a collective and a good business bestie to bounce off is something that you can easily kind of set up.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How you didn't just, you know, you come from quite a serious background. You didn't just pull a candle idea out of thin air and came about this amazing business or this organisation that you have now. Yeah. You know, you've been through quite a journey and through quite a serious journey, haven't you? So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So my background, like many entrepreneurs, we all kind of come from, and I hate the word corporate background. Like, I wish there was another word for it. But we come from a proper job, a proper job. And so my job, I was a banker. So I was a banker. I was quite a senior banker prior to leaving when I was 38. But
you started young, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I was supposed to, I was actually supposed to be a nurse. I was supposed to be a nurse, and suddenly went on a work placement. It's probably the best work placement that I've been on, because it made me realise that just was not for me. So
I did my work placement in Boots.
Oh, did you? Well, I did it, and I realised that it wasn't for me. And I met my husband, well, now husband. I met him, and as you do, you kind of get together. And I really didn't want to go off to university. I was always destined to work. I wasn't academic, could if I put my mind to it, but I was more of probably an entrepreneur back then as well. I'd worked from when I was 12, and, you know, I'd had a couple of business ideas by the time I was 18. So I decided to apply for a job in a bank, and because my mum said, if you're not going to university, the only job that you're getting is in a bank, because it was deemed the good job. So I got the job, went for the interview, got it, and I was a bank manager by the time I was 21. I even think to now, I'm still probably one of the youngest bank managers that I've ever kind of come across.
That's an incredible achievement for someone so young.
Yeah, and also somebody that didn't really have that many qualifications, somebody that kind of, you know, just kind of went through life and just enjoyed life and just really worked hard. So yeah, I was really kind of pleased at how quickly I progressed, and my career kind of grew and grew and grew really, really quickly. But what led me to where I am now is I suddenly realised later on in life that my opportunities were capped. And when you're employed, your opportunities are capped. There's only so much that you can earn. There's even, you know, nowadays you don't get uncapped bonuses like what you may have done many, many years ago. So, you know, my income was really capped. My time was capped. Everything was. And I sat back and I used to help so many businesses, and I used to see how these business people scaled, how their lives were changing for the better. And I thought, I want a bit of that. I'm helping all these businesses. Why am I not helping myself? Why am I not doing it? So that was always in the back of my mind. But I had 2 children at the time, and we had bills to pay. I was the main breadwinner. You know, it was quite a decision, you know, if I was to leave to do something else. It was even a hard decision to even maybe think I could go and work for another company and get more money. That was even a really hard decision at the time.
I think that's a really good point, isn't it? Because and we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I think there's so many people out there that know that they've got something in them.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
this burning desire
Yeah.
to go out, whether, you
Yeah.
know, start your own traditional business or online business or whatever it is. There's this feeling that people have.
Definitely. And I'd always been so like independent, really independent. And I remember my mum saying to me, she said to me once, she says, always make sure that you have your own little runaway fund. She says, always share, but always make sure that you've got your own independence. Always make sure.
You still got that?
I've
from your
definitely got
hubby.
it. I've still got it. It's building up nicely, Monique. It's building up nicely. It's building up nicely, that little runaway fund. But, and also, I remember thinking, saying to myself that we put on this earth, we've got one opportunity, a really good opportunity. Well, not just one opportunity, got many opportunities, as many as you want, really. But people are either put on this earth to either build the world or work in it. And I was made to build it. And you know what? And there's nothing against those people that just want to work in it because, people come to work, they do what they want to do, and they go home, and we love it. We love those people. But I was destined to do more. So it was always in the back of my mind. And obviously, I really loved candle and fragrance products, just like we all do. I was fed up of buying them and them not functioning properly and spending a lot of money on them because they were a luxury item for me. And I thought, hang on a minute, I really love these products. I wonder whether I can make them. And so I started making them and very, very quickly realised that I could do it. I could really do it, where it'd take people years to master. I kind of got it really quickly. And so I thought, right, I like this and I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna carry on making them. Then I started making them and selling them to the mums at school. Now, you've got to bear in mind that at this point, I also had a full-time job. I had a full-time job travelling all over the country, lots of responsibility. But I knew that I wanted to make this business like a success. So I called the business Moments and sorted out the branding at the time and made sure that we had feelings. So Moments candles were all about creating products with feelings. So moments of happiness, sleeping moments, memorable moments. And they all evoked an emotion of some sort. So that was kind of the brand. And I started falling more and more in love with it because the emotions were coming out of the products. I loved it.
And how are you doing it? How were you doing this whilst travelling with two young kids? How did you fit that in?
So I work twice as hard. So anybody who is thinking about starting a business or feels that they're destined to do more, that's got an interest, that's got a passion, whatever it may be, it might be home interiors, it might be knitting, it might be writing, it might be anything at all, anything. But if you've got a passion, start doing it and see whether it's got legs. And start monetising on it, just like I did. But how I did it was I worked evenings and I worked every Saturday and Sunday in my kitchen. I had a cooker with 4 hobs, 4 pans, 4 jugs and water and my ingredients. And I sat there pouring candles all day, every day. Pouring one day, labelling the next, and then the following week or 2 weeks, they were ready to kind of sell. Got to the point where I used to have queues of mums outside my house on a Friday night coming to pick up their goodie bags.
Wow, that's amazing.
It went pretty crazy. So I then got to this point where it was earning me about £30,000 a year.
On top of what you were doing already.
Yeah. Now,
which is incredible, right?
Yeah. It was way off what I was on, but it was a survival budget. So in terms of my contribution to the home, if I kind of earned 30,000, that would have really contributed. It wouldn't have given us the luxuries, but it would have contributed. So I made sure that I had a look at the forecasting to say, actually, is it viable to run as a business? Like, can I run it as a business? Because I think what your listeners like that do want to plan a business, that do want to kind of venture into stepping into their own businesses, they need to really think about it and see whether it's viable and take some inspiration maybe from some of the things that I'm sharing, because actually this idea actually came to life whilst I was on maternity leave. So I was on maternity leave with my daughter, who is now 6. And that is when I really ramped it up. That is when I thought, now's the opportunity. I can try and make it into a full-time job, because I don't want to go back to work at the end of maternity. I don't want to. But we had to really plan everything around that. So Monday to Friday was working, was travelling. Evenings I was doing the social media. Weekends I was obviously doing the kiddie runs, as well as making all the products and selling the products. So sometimes we have to work twice as hard for a very short period of time to then relieve ourselves a bit later.
I think that's the thing. And I think people sometimes, I get this a lot. People say to me, but how do you do it? How do you do it all? I don't think there actually is any kind of magic formula.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it enough, you have to somehow, make certain sacrifices for the greater good, and then just go out there and put your all into it. As much as we like to think, what's the magic bullet here? Yeah. But you do, in your situation, if you're doing a full-time job, I guess you need support, right? Yeah. And you were lucky that you did have support.
Yeah, did. Yeah. So husband, obviously, we need to plan our life. So, the house, like in terms of like cooking tea on an evening, rota started to come in. So it wasn't just me cooking
like music to my ears.
Rotas came in, everything. Everybody had a little jobs list, including the 2 boys that were older, because it wasn't just all going to fall on me. We really, I really wanted it. And I think my husband could see how much I wanted it. I wanted it to be my permanent job. Got to this point in work, I felt like it was Groundhog Day. I'd wake up, I'd walk into the same office. It'd be the same thing, same Monday morning audio, same Monday morning this, same Friday return that we had to do. And I thought, I don't want this to carry on.
You want the variety.
But I had to plan an exit strategy. I knew what I needed the business to start making me before I was going to make the choice to leave. And finally, after 3 times of being invited for redundancy and not getting it, while everybody's walking out of the office going, oh my God, I've lost my job. And then I go in and they go, no, we're keeping you. And I'd be like, oh, for God's sake, when can I go? And then finally I get to go, and I came jumping out and I thought, this is it. And I tried to apply for jobs. I did. I applied for jobs.
What made you do that? Why did you do that?
Habit, thinking, confidence.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I must be stupid thinking that I can do this with this business. Must be crazy. But every time I went for these jobs, they just weren't for me.
What was it that held you back? Was it imposter syndrome, do you think? Something like that? Or
probably, yeah, definitely. I do suffer with that, or live with that. Not suffer with it, I probably live with it. But I would say it was a little bit of that. Obviously, accountability to the family. Yeah. We had a lifestyle to lead, but happiness is important.
Yeah.
Planning your happiness. You're only here once. And I'm a massive believer in opportunity. And if you're presented with an opportunity, you must take it. You cannot sit there and think, but what if? But what if it goes well? Yeah. But we often say to ourselves, but what if it goes wrong? That's the first thing we say to ourselves. We just need to turn it around and go, but what if it wins?
Yeah.
And for me, it did. So, in 2016, we made the decision. We was like, right, come on, let's go all in with Moments Candles Co. We then rebranded in 2018. We really launched hard. It was brilliant. And now we've got a couple of units now, full of products, and we're a really good retail brand now.
And it runs as a bit of a franchise as well, doesn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, we've got brand partners, we've got suppliers, we've got nearly 40 franchisees now. So it's very much about collaboration. We love kind of making products for other brands as well, which is absolutely fab. And we, it's not been easy, but it's definitely been worth it. And, for all those people, that think, actually, I wonder whether I can do that. You just need to try.
Yeah.
Try it and see. But there's so many opportunities that I've been presented with since, and there'll be more to come. And I never say no to them. I might say no, not yet, but I never say no to an opportunity really, because for every kind of 5 or even 15 opportunities that I take, one of them will be really good.
I think I'm a real believer in this. I think when we allow that door to open, you open up yourself to so much.
Yeah.
And I think when we have the barriers up, it's really hard to get through and to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But if you just open that door just a little bit, you'll be amazed what you can let in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what I did. I planned. I did plan. You'll be really happy to know that I did plan something. I don't wing everything. I planned.
You don't wing anything.
I planned turning 40. So I was 38 when I made the decision. And when I was 38, I thought, by the time I'm 40, I'm going to be out of this Groundhog Day. I'm not going to do it anymore. And I think as a woman, every time you reach a milestone, whether it's 30, 40, 50, 60, now 70.
You look amazing for 70.
I know. I'll still be here when I'm 70. Serial entrepreneur. But when we're reaching these milestones in life as a woman, and it is the 0 that makes a difference, we feel like we need change. Yeah. We do. And I thought the kids were getting a bit older. I thought between 40 and 50, that's my time to shine. Because as a woman, you've got more confidence, you're more knowledgeable,
you've got experience.
More patience. Yeah. In terms of confidence, I think around when we get to about 45, that can shudder a little bit because of our hormones, because of what we're going through. Yeah. There's lots of things. But that's why I planned it, because I'd managed women over the years and as soon as they kind of got to 40, 45, 50, 55, you could see we had this like where the kids were leaving home and going to university, where there was a bit lost, where hormones kicked in, where their confidence, they used to question themselves. I used to have the most amazing employees, and they'd always question themselves and question their ability. And it was because of how they were feeling. It's because of what we go through as women, you know? So I planned and said, that's my time to shine. That's when I've got to really go for it. So for any of you that are listening today and you're thinking, God, you know what? I want life to be different when I'm 40. I want life to be different when I'm 50. Picture your life and start putting some plans into progress and start working towards them. But don't think it's a quick fix, because it's not.
What would you say, just before we wrap, I could chat about this for so long.
I'll come back.
I think it's such a fascinating subject, and I think there's probably so many people out there that really do sort of lack that courage just to take that next step.
Yeah.
Imagine you are back in that corporate world again and you've just come up with a business idea. What is the first step in making that happen?
So in terms of I'm obviously in the bank and doing it. I think the first step for me, and what was the game changer for me, was I did a financial forecast. So I sat down and I printed off a financial forecast.
For somebody that doesn't know how.
Yeah. So a financial forecast is something that states how many sales, how many candles did I want to sell? So I wanted to sell 5 candles a day at £30 each. That would have generated me £150. So I forecasted what I wanted to do. Okay. So that's as easy as it can be. And I forecasted for 2 years. I went a little bit over the top. You don't have to do that, but I did, because I would have been turning my back on a very, very good career. So I had to really think about it more longer term. And then what I did was I worked out what my business costs were. Now, when you first start in business, keep your costs really, really low. People think big, right? That's fine. I'm not against people thinking big, but actually think cautiously about your business and keep your costs down. You can bring more people into your team. You can have the luxuries. You can have the office. You can have all that when the time's right. Keep costs down. Work from home. Work from your kitchen, just like I did. I never had a big melter like what I've got now.
No.
You know, I've got 5 big melters now, melting kilograms and kilograms of wax. Back then it was 4 pans and a thermometer, right? But it made me that money, right? And it was fine. And then what I did, I worked out a survival budget. And your survival budget is how much you need to bring into your home. How much is your mortgage? How much are your bills? How much are your childcare? How much is this? How much is that? And that was what I worked on, I needed to generate, because I didn't care about my luxuries, because my luxuries, I didn't want them. All I wanted was to have this independence in my business, and that was going to be my reward. Not going on holiday, not the nice cars, not the nice clothes and all the other stuff that I'd always spent money on. It was more what I wanted and what would have made me happy. It wasn't materialistic. It was having that financial freedom and being the owner of my own business.
And the satisfaction that would give you,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
And the feeling of accomplishment and,
Yeah.
you know, that you
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
you've done this for yourself,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
There's no other feeling.
Yeah, and courage.
Yeah.
Courage, massive. Those of you that have got courage, you know, I'm not saying confidence. And also don't put things off because you think that you don't know enough. Because let me tell you, when you start in business, you can go on as many training courses as you want. You can have as many degrees as you want. One lady said to me the other day, I'm starting my own business. I've been on a manufacturing course. Well, I just turned around and thought to myself, well, listen, I could have been on 10 different manufacturing courses, but actually I've learned on the job. I've learned by example. I've learned by making the mistakes. So don't think that you need to be overqualified to do what you do. Just get into it and just do it.
I think I love, you know, I love telling this story now. And I used to be quite embarrassed about telling it, but I love telling it now, is when I first thought, I'm going to set up a planner business. And I phoned up a local printers to me. I think the local printer that printed business cards. And I was like, hello, yes, I would love to set up a planner business, please. How do I print a planner? And he literally, I could feel him laughing at me down the phone. So I thought, do I come to you? Do I come and just pick some materials for a cover? Because I thought that's all it was.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously I learned very quickly that day that that's not how you make planners and that there's a lot more to it. And you just, I could have done a course.
Yeah.
Of course I could. But you learn by making mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think that is the best way to learn. Just
You
trial
do.
and error, isn't
You
it?
do. And look at you now.
Trial, error and passion.
Definitely. And look at now. Look at everything that's coming from it now.
I know.
So, you know, having that passion and working on something that's truly yours, especially products. Products are brilliant. You can physically see them. It's amazing. Like, I just love product-based businesses so much. I love service-based businesses too, but product-based businesses where you can see what you're working at, you can see your brand evolving. It's absolutely amazing. You can kind of grow your product range. You can really play with it. And that's what I would say in business, play with it.
And I think your personality can come out into it as well, can't it? You know, you can really...
Yeah. It's amazing. So for all the ladies out there, and gents, if gents are listening, you know, if you've got an idea, like, try it. What's the worst that can happen? It might not work. What's the worst that can happen? You walk out of a job. Trust me, you'll walk back into another one.
I think living with regret is far worse.
Yes.
I think living with that feeling, what if?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we should ever say what if. I think we should just go out there.
Just do it.
And do it.
Mm-hmm.
Helen, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of She Loves to Plan. If you enjoyed this podcast today, why not hit subscribe? Also, we do give away a product each and every single Monday. All you need to do is take a screenshot of either you watching this or listening to this podcast and share it to Instagram stories. Tag us at perfectplanner.company. Everybody that enters each and every single week will get put into a draw, and on Monday we will announce a winner and you can win a product of your choice from our Perfect Planner Company store. Also, if you love Facebook and you want to get even more value from me, do please come and join us in the She Loves to Plan Business Lounge, and you'll find us hanging out over there. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tell all your friends about the She Loves to Plan podcast. You can find us on all of the podcast platforms. Thanks for listening.